Arca 1964 here. Not a darts video, doing a few of those recently. Off to Doncaster racecourse. Maybe 18th time, I'm not sure, maybe one less of that. I'll put it up if it's wrong. Yeah, to a listed race. Came in last year. I couldn't, for some reason, I was busy last year on this day. I couldn't make it. Can't remember why, but I couldn't make that meeting. Okay, I'm really confused. I knew I was going to cheat version train ride Leeds to get in because it's so expensive a split ticket. And I then thought, what's Wakefield coming up? And I was thinking just whether tickets were pre-printed off of the Newcastle station. I thought, what? Hang on. Very confused. Anyway, we're going back a different way. It's Newcastle, Leeds, Doncaster, I think one way, then Doncaster, Wakefield, York, Newcastle, I think. Anyway, it looks like very confusing. I've got to say Haydock a few times later of the month of the last fling meeting, which is a mixture of a pun on the end of the year and also more certainly after the staying chase of the last fling who won at Haydock. Others I'm not sure of yet. There's possibilities. I wanted to get to Plumpton for the Sussex National and we can't, but Somerset National. Trains are really expensive. Make the overnight coach, one or both, but that's a hassle, frankly. I just don't, I can't get to sleep on coaches, so it's going to rather wreck my sleep up, so I'll see about that. I don't think there's anything else. I've got time for my favourite pub in the country, Doncaster Brewery Tap, a few pints. Well, I'll have to have a bit, I think it was for about 3 hours somehow after racing. That's overdoing stuff, I think. Same problem in Kelso, and it was Kelso, right, to 3 hours. And then actually started falling asleep on the train. That was a lack of sleep. I had a lack of sleep as well today, and I took a couple of pints, 3 pints. It wasn't a huge amount to do, but I started towards near to Newcastle. Suddenly, got a jolt, woke up, looked across, thought, oh, that's Newcastle station. Oh dear me, I better get off. Oh, worse to that effect, get my stuff together. And I think it stayed in Newcastle 1 or 2 minutes, and thank God it did, because it would have been a bit of a push to get off otherwise, and I might have been stuck going to Durham or Darlington and getting back out and trying to get the train back up again. God, it's cold here at York Station. I'm going way strange saying York, Leeds, Doncaster, Newcastle, York, Leeds, Doncaster. That's ridiculous. Just was cheaper, I think. Well, I was thinking that since before we in racing companies can't send me racecourse tickets at any of the venues. It's Newcastle, Southall, Lingfield, Doncaster, all of them just not received them. And it's bizarre thing, the sort of email I was going to get to an organisation to send you what you need to know, compliance before an event or a meeting. It's pretty irrelevant, but I got one from Doncaster. So you're not sending me tickets, you're sending me emails saying what I need to know, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to use the Waystay app to sort that out, or tickets out. So I can show it on the gate, but the whole thing is frankly ridiculous. Doncaster Racecourse letting everyone down yet again. I've seen previous videos. The first sort of 10 times went to Doncaster, went at Racecourse before the first race 5 times. I remember that because no one else really did that. Chester, being busy Saturday in 2015, it did max down, and the other time, I don't want Chester at all as a racecourse, but that still happened to them other times. Southall, I think it was once. Did and then found some, and Carlisle, I think maybe it was this year, did before the first race, and there's no excuse for that again at all. And you end up with a sheet, which is pretty. Well, Doncaster off in today, and I thought this time I didn't accept the sheet. Carlisle won at racecourse for the first race, didn't have any for sale, and Doncaster done it again. It stopped being a problem at 2018. I've been by Doncaster 8 times roundabout since it stopped being an issue. And again, you just cannot run that race for the first race. It's just pathetic. What's wrong with your stock management? Either you didn't have any for sale or you just ran out. And what are you doing? What are you playing at as a bleeding racecourse? Some total lack of professionalism. I mean, it's better off having stock left over to an extent than just looking at a bunch of amateurs. And it really is pretty disgusting. Just a bit of follow-up, I'm back in the flat obviously, just to say another issue of Doncaster, and it's something I've mentioned before a few times, it's about stewarding. And all after quite a few videos I said, you don't overfish your stewarding, we need some. And what's happening, I ended up deciding going to, I was a county ticket, and after the first race I decided I've got to go to pre-birding. I found some county towards the top and sit down, just want to see it to stay there for the winning races. It was fair enough. But one of the problems is, and it's certain races to do with Leicester had a problem with them doing it. There's no shooting there at all. Again, with no shooting there, it can be issues. And people just act like arseholes sometimes. And there's people standing in their seats, and they're blocking reviews off, and they then just about could cope with it. But it's just, there's people just blocking views. Well, I wasn't quite so bad for me, but I think they're blocking other people's views off, and it's just selfish. I mean, the stand, literally where you can stand, is just below the seats. You can actually stand, if you want to stand there, you can just go slightly below where you are on the seats, and just stand there. I mean, why can't you just do that? Instead of acting like a bunch of idiots. One person actually at one point stood in front of a big screen, and luckily managed to all see around them, but I mean, that was even worse. I'm not the greatest person who actually complain to people, and I tend not to. I mean, once actually I was at jazz gig actually at one at Sunderland Minster, I think it is, and I then had to work with someone because they were talking, and it were probably actually was Abby Finn that gig, was a very, very good jazz player, and she said, told me a comment, how we can't carry very much in this venue, and it was just a whispering, and maybe from her daughter, and it was coming different here, and it was carrying. I mean, I can imagine saying, so I'm stopping to hear, and we did shut up, and I'm not the best at complaining to people about stuff, quite a quiet person, but it's just so annoying. Doncaster tap, I think I'll put a picture up here, I'll mention it a bit on social media. A 17% beer. I was actually going to buy it, and the barman said, the top part, there's two Doncaster tap, now the craft ale part upstairs now, and which is a good addition. I was very crowded actually. I went upstairs and just about got a seat actually. So I was thinking maybe sort of Christmas Saturday, middle of December. It's going to be a little bit, things are busy, so yeah. But it was, it's popular. It is a popular pub, and it's not the largest pub, so it's useful to try and find a seat in it. There's the music playing was downstairs, but there was no seat downstairs. There was no upstairs anyway. But when I was ordering, they said, "Oh, you mean the 17% beer?" And I just saw it, and I think I actually meant a different beer actually, and I'm buying that one instead. And it was slightly jokingly saying, was the 17% beer was £15, and in the end, a late one, I did drink that beer. It wasn't quite, it was about 2/3 of a pint. It was a very nice beer, but all I'm saying, I had a few drinks before and after. All I'm saying is, I remember getting to a station at York. The next thing I remember, getting on a train, just about remember, is where I come to Newcastle. I have literally gone to sleep between York and Newcastle after a few drinks, especially that drink, I think. So, as I said, I've got Haydock. I'm trying to think what else. I'm almost Plumpton's unlikely. In fact, Plumpton's almost certain it will happen because the only way really is to wreck a Sunday meeting, and if I get my overnight coach, I'd have to on Saturday just stay awake a lot of Saturday, then go to bed about 3 o'clock in the afternoon basically, and then get up at 1 o'clock and go for a coach, because I just cannot get sleep on coaches. But that classic, I'm saying I've put some darts videos out recently, and the classical final world darts actually. So I'm very unlikely to do Plumpton. Wincanton's unlikely, and I think it's too expensive. This one look. Newsday, I haven't mentioned actually, and Newcastle, I'll probably do Newcastle. I think of a cut-off point about £10,000 to a winner race normally. I think that meeting will probably just be below that, but I think I'll go to that. Let's have a quick look at anything else I might be doing. Oops. Possibilities. Catterick North Yorkshire National, that's a possibility. There's a few. Weatherby. There's a good meeting here, and I don't know if I've been to it before. I'll have to look that up. There's a couple of possibilities. Market Raisin. There's a very good meeting in Newcastle on the 16th of January. There's a few others, but that is all for the future.